and enjoy my sleepy, very pregnant puppy Bailey laying back there on the couch. But we have been exclusively breastfeeding for about 6 months now. I will go ahead and give you guys my tips and tricks that have helped me, as well as things I've learned along the way. Fed is best. If you feed your baby, you're an amazing mom. Like, let's end the mom shame right there. These are the bottles that we use. They are Komotomo. Another question that I got was, when did it stop hurting to breastfeed? I was so close to quitting. Like, I almost threw in the towel, and I was like, no, just keep pushing. Like, I know it's gonna get easier. Like, eventually it has to get better. Breastfeeding is not as scary as it seems. Everyone's breastfeeding journey is different, so I am in no way, shape, or form a professional on this topic. Are you playing with my haka? Ready? Haka. You're so funny. You're so funny. What's up? Welcome back to my channel. I am so glad you clicked on this video. If you are new here, my name is McKenna and I do motherhood and lifestyle videos on this channel. So if you're not already, make sure you hit the little red subscribe button down below to stay updated on all of our videos and content that we post. We would love to have you stick around and be a part of the Fry fam. So today's video is going to be all about breastfeeding. And enjoy my sleepy, very pregnant puppy Bailey laying back there on the couch. But I am just gonna let you guys know pretty much everything about my experience with breastfeeding. Leland is actually 6 months old now. I cannot believe he's already 6 months old. That's insane. But we have been exclusively breastfeeding for about 6 months now. So it's been a wild ride, and it's actually gone very well. I was super duper nervous going into breastfeeding, you know, just kind of not knowing if my milk would come in, not knowing how to breastfeed, it's a whole new world, and you really don't know what you're doing at first, I'll be honest with you, but as you kind of go on, it just gets more and more natural, and it becomes very easy, honestly. Now I don't even have to think about it, whereas before I was, you know, anxious about it all the time. It was very uncomfortable at first, just kind of getting the hang of things, but now it's a breeze. Leland can eat in like 5 minutes and we're done. Like, it's that quick, that easy. But anyway, I will go ahead and give you guys my tips and tricks that have helped me, as well as things I've learned along the way. But first, I will go ahead and answer your guys' questions. I asked you guys for questions over on Instagram. I will link my Instagram right here. My handle is @KennaMorgan with 3 N's. Make sure you go follow us over there. We post a lot of content on Instagram. And if you haven't noticed, I did get a new phone case. It's actually another loopy case. I absolutely love it. I believe it's called Jasper, but I will leave that link down below, as well as with a coupon code. If you guys use the code KENNA10 at checkout, you will get 10% off of your order. So that's super awesome, and they were nice enough to send it over to me. Anyway, I'll go ahead and start reading some of the questions that you guys sent over. So the first one says, how often do you feed baby? So this is going to be very, very different for every mama and every baby. As well as the age of your baby, it's gonna obviously change. So the very first time that you're gonna feed is obviously right after delivery. Baby comes out, they hand them to you, then you do skin to skin for a while, get all cleaned up, and then after that, and they will encourage you to breastfeed if you're planning to do so. So then baby's just gonna come real close, and it's weird how natural it is for them because it's not for you. But they just start kind of rooting right away, finding their way to the food source, if you will. And you have what's called colostrum at first. It's a very, very like potent form of your milk to begin with. Colostrum is also a lot thicker than milk. It has a lot more nutrients, and just all of the amazing things that your milk has. It's just going to be like jam-packed those first few days. You're actually not even going to be giving them milk per se. It's actually the colostrum, but it doesn't really affect you. It just means that they're going to take a lot longer to eat because, you know, you're both getting comfortable with it, both getting the hang of things. Leland actually nursed for like an hour the very first time. Like, it was insane. But they just kind of stay on there until they're ready ready to be done. The nurses will give you sheets and kind of teach you how to do it. It's not like they just leave you on your own, so definitely check with your nurse and your doctor about what is right for you. But for me, I breastfed Leland probably every half hour. I believe they tell you to switch and just kind of get them familiar with it and let them eat if they're hungry. But there also should be a lactation consultant. I actually had to have one come in, and she just kind of checked, made sure everything was working properly, kind of helped me through any questions that I had. And if your baby isn't getting a very good latch, they will actually help you to hand express some colostrum that you can spoon feed to your baby, which was very different for me, but it was just a really cool experience all around, and I'm just so thankful for the bond that breastfeeding has created. So I would say they eat about every half hour, and then after that, I mean, Leland's 6 months old now, it just kind of dwindles down from there. Leland eats probably like every 2-ish hours now, maybe 3. It just depends. I feed on demand, so I don't like have a set schedule. I just kind of let him dictate when he's hungry and needs to eat, and then we just roll with it from there. So that would be my best answer as to how often the baby eats, which again, like I said, is different for every mama and every baby. So the next question is, have you ever pumped, and do you know what your milk capacity is? Yes, I have pumped. I actually went back to work when I had Leland. I say work as in I'm a wedding photographer, so I don't have a 9 to 5 every day, which I'm very thankful for. So I get to be a stay-at-home mama and also kind of work. But anyway, I had my first wedding when Leland was I believe 9 weeks old. So I had to leave him all day. It was a 12-hour wedding day. Actually, I'm sorry, it was a 10-hour wedding day, but with drive time, it was about 12 hours that I had to leave him, and it was really hard on my mama heart. So I feel for all of you mamas who have to go back to work and leave your baby every day. You are amazing. I don't know how you do it. So obviously when I shoot my weddings, I pumped. I had pumped once or twice before that, just to kind of get the hang of it, know what I'm doing, make sure baby can take the bottle before I leave. So I pumped previously to leaving. Never try to do it the very first time that you're gone. Make sure baby will take a bottle before you just up and leave. But I, like I said, pumped then, and my milk capacity, again, it's so different because at different ages, babies need different levels of milk. Every baby needs a different amount of milk, so it's gonna vary as baby grows. Right now, if I were to sit down and pump, I'm sure I could get like 4 to 6 ounces on each side, but I actually don't pump very often, whereas I stay home with Leland most of the time. Again, I only have to shoot weddings here and there. I don't pump very often because I don't want to increase my milk production and be an overproducer and have a whole freezer stock full of milk when I don't really need that. So I pumped a little more than what I needed in the beginning, and I have a nice little freezer stash, but I don't have to pump all the time, which is really nice. Your milk capacity at first might just be an ounce or 2. Celebrate over that. I actually started out with a Haka, which is amazing. I actually have it sitting out right here to show you guys, but this is a Haka, and you just put it on one side as baby nurses on the other, and it catches all of the letdown. And I was super excited to get like 1 or 2 ounces in this every time that I would nurse. And I got a nice freezer stash build up from just using the Haka. I didn't have to pump until I think I was like six weeks postpartum before I actually pumped. So this thing was a lifesaver. Leland is waking up. I'm gonna go grab him real quick and bring him in here. Hi, baby. Do you want to say hi to the vlog? Did you have a good nap? He still has his jammies on. So precious. Anyway, like I was saying, definitely invest in a Haka. You won't regret it. It will be a lifesaver those first few weeks for sure, and you can obviously use it after that as well. And then, like I said, your milk capacity is going to change and grow as baby changes and grows. So hopefully that was helpful. The next question is, do you use a breast pump? I did just kind of answer this. Like I said, I love the Haka, but I do have a breast pump. I actually have it sitting right here. It's the Hyglia or Hyglia. I'm not actually sure how you pronounce it, but you can get it for free through your insurance. So that's kind of what it looks like. It's pretty basic. It's actually a really expensive pump though, but like I said, you can get it for free through your insurance. And then these are obviously what collects the milk. So it works really great. I love it. I don't think you need really anything fancy. If your insurance doesn't cover one, then I would definitely recommend getting a Spectra pump. I've heard amazing things about those. If I pumped more, I probably would have gotten one, but I honestly, like I said, I don't have to pump that much. I have enough for a little freezer stash for us. I don't have to pump every day, and I am very thankful for that. But anyway, like I said, that's the breast breast pump that I use, and if you do not get one through your insurance, make sure you look into a Spectra. They are phenomenal. The next question says, favorite pumps, especially for travel. This one is a little tricky because, like I said, I don't have to pump that often, and we are actually going to Punta Cana here next week. I'm not even going to bring a pump just because, like I said, we exclusively breastfeed, and I'm going to be with him 24/7, so I won't really need one. That would be the good thing with travel. If you're looking for one that's nice and compact, I know the Spectra isn't very big, so that would be nice to kind of pack away with you. If you're looking for something to like pump in a plane or something like that, I know that they have hands-free pumps that actually go into your bra. I think it's called a Willow pump. I will put the name right here for sure if I'm wrong. But they are kind of expensive. They're on the pricier side. I think it's like $400. But if you travel a whole lot and you would want to like pump discreetly in public, I think that would be perfect. The next question says, everything. Were you scared at first and now do you feel like a professional? Love you. Aw, I love you too. I was, like I said, I was super scared at first. I didn't know how it was gonna go. I didn't know if it was gonna work out. I didn't know if I was buying all of these things for breastfeeding and then it wasn't gonna happen and I was gonna have to switch to bottle feeding and buy everything twice. It's really kind of scary because it's unfamiliar territory. You've never been there, you've never done it, you don't know what to expect. But hopefully I'm kind of giving you a little bit of insight to make you feel more confident. But I was very nervous, and thankfully it all worked out, and it's been an amazing 6 months, hasn't it, baby? Yeah, it's just been great. But honestly, I would say just do your research and just be confident in your decisions, and if it doesn't work out, you know, that's okay. Breastfeeding is obviously one of the things that a lot of mamas want to do, and some people just can't do it, and that's okay. You know, fed is best. If you feed your baby, you're an amazing mom. Like, let's end the mom shame right there. But anyway, yeah, it's super easy now. If I look back and think of that very first time when I was nursing Leland, I was like, wow, this is taking an hour. Like, this is painful, this is scary. And now he eats in 5 minutes and I'm like, well, okay, I did not think that it would be this easy. So it definitely does get better. Just hang in there and know that the best is yet to come. It will get easier, it will get better, I promise. Another question that I got was, does he take a bottle good? Also, how is the feeding schedule now with solids? He does do great with the bottle. We've never really had an issue with that. Every time that I've been gone and he's needed to take one, he does great. We don't really use them every day because I get to stay at home most days. But whenever he does need them, he does great. And I actually have them sitting out right here. These are the bottles that we use. They are Komotomo. I did a ton of research on the best bottles for breastfed babies, and these are most like natural, like I guess you could say, like a regular nipple would be. And the silicone part of the bottle is also breast-like, so these are really great. He's loved them. We've not needed to try another brand at all, so I would highly recommend these. And then as far as like breastfeeding goes with introducing solids, I've always heard food before one is just for fun. So even though we've kind of introduced solids and we're starting baby-led weaning and letting him kind of explore new foods and textures and things like that, his main source of nutrients is milk, and that is true for babies until they're 1 year old. So most of everything, his hydration, nutrition, everything is coming from mama's milk. So I just feed him as normal, and then after a nursing session, I will go ahead and feed him. And I only feed him really once a day for now while we're introducing it. But again, that's going to look different for every baby and every mama. Another question that I got was, when did it stop hurting to breastfeed? Unfortunately, I wasn't able to. Sorry that you weren't able to. I was, like I said, really scared that that was going to happen to me too. So again, no judgment for mamas who can't breastfeed. Like, I know it's a struggle. But I would say for me, probably after, I mean, it starts to not be as painful after like 2 to 4 weeks is when it starts to feel better. Because I remember I was like a week and a half into it and I'm like, how do people do this? Like, I feel like my boobs are gonna fall off. Like, it was that painful. And sometimes they can bleed, or yeah, it can just be very painful. And like I said, I was so close to quitting. Like, I almost threw in the towel, and I was like, no, just keep pushing. Like, I know it's gonna get easier. Like, eventually it has to get better. And honestly, within that first month, like after that, it starts becoming more enjoyable and less painful, obviously, and now like it doesn't hurt at all. Like honestly, it doesn't. I mean, I am scared for him to get teeth. I have heard sometimes they will bite you, but yeah, we've not had a problem with that, and like I said, it's not really painful anymore. Next question is, what struggles did you have during breastfeeding? I'm gonna sit Leland down right in front of me to play, so I think he'll do better right here playing with a couple toys. But anyway, I personally don't feel like my journey has been too crazy. The worst thing that happened for me that I struggled with was like those first couple weeks when he was just like latching on all the time. Like he wanted to nurse every 30 minutes. It was kind of insane. And I was just like, okay, no, you're not supposed to introduce a passy until they're like 8 weeks old, but I'm just gonna give it to him. So at 2 weeks old, I gave him a passy, and he has done great with it ever since. I think it's actually sitting down here. We use the Ryan and Rose passies, and this is just a passy clip from Amazon, but he has done great with these. And then he didn't want to comfort nurse as much on me, which gave me a break, which was amazing. So yeah, I gave him a passy at 2 weeks old, and he did great with it. I was kind of scared with like nipple confusion and things like that, but we didn't have any of that happen. Again, very thankful. And then like the only other thing that I can think of that happened that was a bit of a struggle was I did get a clogged duct once, and that was kind of painful. Okay, that was really painful. But that doesn't happen very often, and it literally only happened to me once, and I've been breastfeeding for 6 months. But I actually had these Lancino like cooler hot pads. Like you can put them in the freezer or the microwave, and then there's like just a little cover for it. But I kind of thought they were pointless because I had never used one. And about a month ago, we took a nap, like just a little family nap in the bed. And when I woke up, I just had like a hard rock in my boob. And I was like, what is going on here? Like this is very painful. And come to find out, it's a clogged duct, and basically you just use that hot or cold compress and just kind of have them nurse on that side every time until it's gone. So it went away pretty quickly. Like I said, that's not really much to complain about. I know a lot of women struggle with a lot more than that, but I've just been very thankful and very grateful for the journey that we've had. So yeah, nothing really too crazy has happened to me yet. So a lot of other people said everything. Like they just wanted to know everything about breastfeeding. Someone said that they were 1 week overdue and they planned to breastfeed, and they just wanted to know everything. A ton of people said everything. So I hope that I answered your questions fairly well. I hope that it helped you out. But I'm also going to show you guys a few of the products that I love and that have been vital to our breastfeeding journey. Another bottle that I've heard is really great is the Dr. Brown's Natural Flow bottle, and this is kind of what it looks like. I've heard that it's really great for colicky babies, but like I said, we never really needed to use it. I think I got it in like a free Target registry gift bag, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but if your baby is having problems, I would definitely recommend you try this out, just because I've heard so many great things about them. Next, oh, okay, I can't believe I didn't talk about this sooner. This stuff is gold in a bottle. Let me just tell you that. This is the Earth Mama Organic Nipple Butter. This stuff, especially those first few weeks, came in clutch. That was amazing. I know that Lancino sells a nipple cream, and I don't know, I got a few of them, again, in like little gift bags, and I just didn't want to use it because you had to wash it off before you fed baby every time, and that just, I'm too lazy for that, I guess. So this is something that you can put on, and you don't have to worry about taking it off. It is totally safe and organic for baby to ingest as well. If they did get a little, obviously you're not going to spoon feed this out of the can to them, but if there is a little excess left over, like, it's totally safe and fine to nurse over top of it. But yeah, this stuff was just like an amazing healing ointment, salve, whatever you want to call it. Those first few weeks, like I said, are pretty painful, and you can actually bleed. That did happen to me a little, so again, that would be one of my struggles, I guess. But that was rough, and this stuff was like, after every time I would nurse, I'd put it on. So it is amazing. I will definitely be using this for the next baby. Next, I have some nursing pads. These are Lancino. They're the best ones. Don't mess with the reusable nursing pads. They don't work. They don't soak up enough. It's a waste of your time and money. So definitely get the Lancino ones. They're amazing. I actually don't really need to use them now. I thought it was one of those things where you would always have to use them like forever, the whole time you nurse. But I actually don't really leak now, so yeah, I never really need to use them, but I know some people do have to use them the entire time that they're nursing. So just definitely stock up on these. You will use them. And then next, I already showed you my pump. You definitely need a pump. Oh, and then I also have like a couple little milk bags in my pumping bag. These are just Lancino. You can really use any brand, but I have found that those work well for me. And then I have a little milk carrier. This is actually just like a lunchbox from Walmart that you can freeze so that it stays cold all day. Then you don't have to worry about like ice packs or anything like that. And I absolutely love it. Like I said, I got this from Walmart. It was probably like $12. Super cheap, but I take this everywhere that I need to pump, and it keeps my milk nice and cold. This is my favorite nursing cover. It is a 360 coverage copper pearl breastfeeding cover, and it is the best. I also have used one of these covers with like a liner right here that shows you, and you can look down and peek at baby. These are good for like the first couple weeks while you're still learning, but then after that, definitely the copper pearl is my favorite by far. Also, this isn't really related to breastfeeding, but I got this new hat and I love it. I actually got a couple different colors. But this is the gray one that I got. It's from an adorable little shop called Daddy Couture Boutique, and it is so cute. I will link them down in the description box below if you wanted to buy one for yourself. They were nice enough to give me a code for you guys, so if you wanted to shop 20% off on their whole boutique, on their whole website, I will put my code right here. It's McKennaFry20 for 20% off, and that makes this hat like 20 bucks. Like, that's insane. I literally scoured like the whole internet to find a hat like this, just the style and everything. I love it. I guess I can show you guys the back, but it's just so stinking cute. It's like the perfect wide brimmed hat ever, and it's a dupe because if you look up these hats online, they're all running around like the $100 area. Sometimes you can find them for like $80 if you're lucky, but usually they're like $120, $140. So to find these hats for $20, I was just like mind blown. And then they gave me a code for you guys. So again, make sure you check them out down below. I will link their shop. Whoa! What are you doing, Leland? What are you doing? Are you playing with my haka? Ready? Haka! You're so funny. He's so funny. I hope that you found this video somewhat helpful. I hope that I eased your concerns and your worries, and that you can be more confident walking into breastfeeding now that I have shared my experience with you. Like I said, I had struggles too. Our breastfeeding journey hasn't been perfect, but it has been beautiful and we love it. Leland is getting very antsy. Do you want to go in your jumper? Do you want to go in your jumper? He loves to bounce and jump. It's so cute. But we are going to go ahead and end the video here. I hope, like I said, that you guys found this helpful and enjoyed watching and just learning a little bit more about our breastfeeding journey. Everyone's breastfeeding journey is different, so I am in no way, shape, or form a professional on this topic. I was just sharing my experience with you guys to be able to help you guys enjoy your experiences and just kind of put your minds at ease, because breastfeeding is not as scary as it seems. It's really not. And I just wish the best for each and every one of you guys. But if you want to watch more of our videos, then make sure you click this video right here or this video up here, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys for sticking around, and Leland says, toodles!